Hello, all my esteemed peoples out there. This is your boy Aleluz Doso 77, and I'm coming to you today to discuss the issue, the topic of religion, Christianity, and how that relates to brainwashing, to mind control. Yeah, it's pretty serious, and I don't think many people realize how serious of an issue this is. You know, we're talking billions, at least hundreds of millions of people around the world that at least Christianity, that are brainwashed into believing something that is a lie. Now, that doesn't make everybody a bad person because they believe a lie, but it does tell you something about the state of our of society, of humanity. Not just Christianity, but you have Muslims and Buddhists and what other Hindu and other major religions, and how many people believe in stories and basically things that are fairy tales, and they believe in it in such a deep level that they will give up their life for it. They will fight for it. They'll die for it. They'll kill for it. They'll, the standard and how they live their life is measured by it. How they treat other people is determined by it. So religion is extremely influential and powerful, and the system knows that. The powers that be, the elites, these Illuminati, satanic fucks that control the world, or attempt to control the world, enslave us all, and keep us enslaved, keep us under their dominion. But their empire is quickly falling, and they know it. Yeah, they know what's up. They know what time it is, and so do we, apparently. And there's more and more people out there speaking the truth about brainwashing the systems and the mind control and the Illuminati and how everything operates. And yeah, it's a good time to be alive, I'd say. And it's a lot of good shit that's gonna happen pretty soon. And yeah, so Christianity is religion is a major main mind fuck. It can destroy you. I was a Christian for when I say I was a Christian, I was really believing Christian. Like, it wasn't that I was brought up in a Christian home where I went to Sunday school and had Bible study, and I had a nice mommy and a daddy that took care of me and cared for me, and I grew up in this fantasy Christian world that one day Jesus would come and save everybody, or he'd save some and the rest would go to hell because they didn't believe. Oh well, too bad for them. And I think that also the mindset also that we have the religion, especially Christianity, it gives you a devaluation of people's lives, that there's only certain people's lives that really matter, which are the Christian lives. And even though you want the other lives to be so-called saved and not go to hell, but their lives really don't matter. So that's why, even from the mindset where we're okay with knowing that there are millions of people fucking dying all the time in war, we're okay with that. We've accepted that. See, that's what conditioning of religion has done. The conditioning of Hollywood and movies and entertainment and video games and all of this stuff. It's make us numb to death, numb that we become so acceptable of everything. Acceptable. It's so normal. It's so normal. Oh, some little kids got fucking blown up in Yemen or Afghanistan or in Syria. They're all fleeing to Europe. Oh, yeah, it's normal. What time are the Jets playing? Fuck, gives a shit. We're so numb and dumb and brainwashed. There's bombs being dropped and somebody in the Middle East, and somebody is other side of the world is thinking, what is he gonna order? Pizza, Chinese food, or fucking he's gonna watch Jeopardy, A Wheel of Fortune, or Game of Thrones is or Shameless, or whatever else, and religion, I think, has also been a part of that, where we have this it's a fake piety, it's a fake humility. I give to the church, I tithe, and I pray for the little boys and the little girls around the world. And then that's it. We just check off the list. Meanwhile, there's like fucking rampant pedophilia everywhere, and especially in the religious level and the political and the government level, and everything's coming out now. And I was brainwashed into Christianity, and I believed, that they were teaching me the truth, even though I was so deep in Christianity that I went to like the all-star Christian type church, like the all-star as far as like scholarly Harvard, Yale level Christianity, like they fucking you had to know the Bible there. Like someone's gonna ask you a question, you had to have a response, So I went to really hardcore, high level, high intelligent level Christianity, where even the prayers were, you get prayers in some of these places that are longer, more in depth than the sermons in most so-called churches, and but even that was a mind control, because then they believed that they were the special ones, and they were really teaching the Bible, and the other churches weren't teaching the Bible, and they were a little bit. But then they didn't go out evangelizing like other churches did, because they were so afraid that they weren't going to do it the right way. So everything is just like such a fucking game, it's so crippling, all of this, all of these rules, and this God who's just tyrant, and he's angry, and he's he needs to be honored and glorified day and night, and he created man, and man sinned, and now he's so mad at man that he created hell to send man for all eternity, and all his posterity and the demons that disobeyed him and the devil for all eternity, because he can't just say, okay, we fucked up here, let's try to make it better. And then he has to send his son, his only son, to die on a cross to pay for the sins, and his wrath is poured on them, the wrath of all his vengeance from all eternity that should have been given to them. I'll give it to my son, and then that'll settle it. Then, you know what? Okay, do you believe in my son, that he's my son? I believe he's your son. You go to heaven. Next, do you believe? You don't believe? I just put on my wrath. I just send this guy to fucking hell. You don't believe that? You go to hell. Off you go. And that's pretty much how it works. And then you even believe it and not believe it, because it's such a crazy thing to believe in. Like, who made up this story? So, it was 2,000 years ago. And there's all these other things, and you don't have faith. You have to believe faith. You need faith to believe in something that is complete fucking retarded and makes no sense. But I believed in it. I somehow, as retarded, as fucking nuts as the story is, I believed in it. And many people do. Many people do. And then it's just passed on from generation to generation, or they're born into it. But this thing has just done its damage to the world, and it just needs to stop. It's colonialized, it's gone into all the parts of the world, and these innocent native people, just living life in nature and simple and humble, gone in and say, no, you're devil worshippers. You must follow the one and true God, the God of the Bible, and you must take on our beliefs, our European, beliefs, and we must dominate you, and you must take on our English, our language, or Spanish if we are Spaniards, or Portuguese, whatever. And now you must believe like us, mind control. So, this is just what's been going on, and it's continuing to go on. Now, maybe it doesn't go on with the same force as it once did, but it still goes on because it's some like this kind of human thing where, like, it's like if someone from modern society, we go into a more native context, it's like we're like super beings, sort of like, we're like advanced man, they're like apes still and shit, and we're like at another level. So yeah, of course we have the ability to kind of influence and manipulate them to take on a system, and it seems to work. It seems to have been working for thousands of years, the spreading of bullshit and getting poor, naive, uneducated, simple-minded people to believe it, and this is religion has just made more and more people more ignorant to the truth, because they're so caught up in a big fucking fantasy, a big lie. They don't see what's going on in front of them. They don't see, how they're being manipulated by the system, enslaved by the system, because the religion also just tells them to obey, have a simple life, go to church, be a good husband, be a good wife, obey your parents, honor your mother, father, pay your tithes, pay your taxes, be a good citizen, obey the laws, try to keep the speed limit even if you can, God will bless you, and save for your 401k, your retirement, and then you go to heaven. Man, easy life. Or, okay, well, at least, you got to try to help some poor ass motherfucker across the world, because we're supposed to spread the gospel. So we'll find some people who are willing to go out there and go to some foreign country and tell them what we believe and get them to believe, and then you send some money, and then God will be happy with that. You just ignore everything else going on. Just ignore it. Just go to work, close your eyes, drive your car. Doesn't matter how you're polluting the world. Eat your food. Doesn't matter what chemicals, pesticides, insecticides are sprayed on it, or what hormones or antibiotics are pumped into them. Doesn't matter what your children are eating. Doesn't matter that they want your children to take 72 vaccinations. That's fine. Just pray, go to church, just obey, thank God, thank whoever, Yeah, this is what bullshit religion. I didn't know what was going on in the real world. I didn't know about the Federal Reserve Bank and the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and GMO food and Monsanto and Skull and Bones and all this stuff. I didn't know anything about it. And my church didn't tell me. My pastor didn't tell me about it. Why didn't he tell me? Or he doesn't know about it. Or why doesn't he know about it? I really didn't understand the full extent of genocide in Palestine when I was going to church. They never really talked about it. It's just some fulfillment of the Jews returning to Israel. And then I find out they're not even real true Jews. They're Khazars. I mean, everything's a lie. You start to find out everything's a lie. When I started to awake, I didn't want to accept that I believed a fucking lie for whatever, close to 20 years of my life. I was 16, left the church, 7, came back, left again for good when I was 35. When I left for good, that was the official for good. Man, that was the mind blowing, the mind opening, and I had the breakthrough, and thank God, and it was a magic mushroom. And I thank God for the magic mushroom, because I was, even though like I was getting deeper and deeper into the conspiracies and then connecting it to everything, and it's like, wow, like the church didn't teach me this, but the Rasta man taught me that. Listen to Bob Marley taught me some shit, and listen to Damian Marley taught me some stuff. You know, and according to church people, those people are headed for hell. But they're the ones telling me the truth. So how could it be? What's going on here? You know. And then I've even went back to church, even when I first came back to the States, just to go with my family and just see the deadness. And then after leaving the States for 2.5 years and coming back and leaving again for another 8 months and coming back, man, I see the deadness more than ever. People are they're gone. They are gone. And you know, I talk to, just like Jesus said, like those who have ears to hear, hear. And most people, they don't hear, they don't see, they're blind, they're deaf. I can't change it, you can't change it. I mean, I speak about what happened to me, how I got out of Christianity, how I got in it, what it was like, and how I got out of it. But even with the mind control, was so deep for me that it really took the magic mushroom to really magic mushroom and Ray Hagins. Ray Hagins is a black pastor, former ex-black. He's not an ex-black, but he's a black man. He's an ex-pastor. He exposes Christianity. He does it from an African perspective, African American perspective, kind of showing you like, look, man, we were fucking slaves. We were not Christians in Africa. This is not what we believed. This is what they taught us, and this is bullshit. So he goes into the stories of the Bible. He went into the stories of the Bible. I watched a few episodes of his teachings on YouTube. He talked about Adam and Eve and how the serpent spoke to Eve, and how funny that was. And we start to imagine it. And Noah and the flood, and how was it that Noah built the flood basically by himself and his family, and then got all the animals, pairs of two, into the flood. And what did they do during the flood? Did they eat? How did they eat? How did they shit? What was going on? Story. Oh, and the best one that I love, really, that was like the nail in the coffin, was when he talked about Sodom and Gomorrah. And I knew this story before, of course, because I studied the Bible. But this moment on the mushroom, listening to him, and he said just basically like, that the God was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, and had sent 2 angels to Lot in order to save Lot and his family from the destruction that was to come. And while the 2 angels came to him, the entire mob town of Sodom and Gomorrah came to Lot's house and requested that Lot hand over the angels so that they can basically do whatever sexual pleasure that they were wanting to do with these 2 angels. And the righteous Lot, God had sent these angels to save this righteous guy, rather than tell them, no, you can't have the angels or something else. He's like, no, the angels, that off limits, can't touch the angels. But instead, I'll give you a better offer. How about I offer you, as a substitute, my 2 virgin daughters, and you can do whatever you want with them, but not with the angels. I mean, that was it. We really think about it. This is the God that people believe in. This is psychopathic, narcissistic. What is this? Oh, well, then, people, but in the Old Testament it was like this, but now it's different because we're under grace, before we were under law, and that. I know all the stuff they say. I know all. In my family's house, they listen to all I still hear the Christian programming in the background. And it's programming. Same shit. Repetition. And that's how they get people. fear. People are fear of the unknown, the fear of going to hell. Everyone's afraid. Oh, we're gonna do, what happens when we die? Relax, enjoy life. We don't know, but we don't know though. We don't know everything. But they use this to manipulate us, to keep us in check. Meanwhile, everything around us is being destroyed, and we're going along with it because we got no time to stop, to think, to stand up, to speak out. We have no time to do what we want to do with our time. We have no time to spend with our friends, with our family, to travel, to do whatever. No, we have no time because we have to work, and you must pay your taxes, and you must pay your bills on time, and your life is meaningless, unsuccessful if you don't have all these things. Meanwhile, the guy you say you follow, believe, had none of those things and didn't encourage you to have those things, and told you that these things are not even of his kingdom, his kingdom is not of this world, so why do you give a shit about it so much? And so there's just so much hypocrisy, so much hypocrisy, and to think that you come into this world and you're better than somebody else because of your ethnicity, of your religion, of where you were born, of what you look like, of something that has nothing to do with just random shit, so random luck, you were born white and you were born in the white world, and you were born black and you were born in the white world, you're fucked. Or you were born in another part in the third world, who can speak such bullshit, and think themselves better than other people, and the religion does that. The religion for me, I thought I was better in a sense because I knew the truth and they don't know the truth, and now it maybe makes sense. I don't feel better than, I think I know truth. I have a lot of truth. I know a lot of truth, but it's not that I see myself as better, superior, or anything. No, it's really humbling thing to know truth, and I just desire to share truth of what I know with people, and that's it. I don't have an end game. I want them to be free, because I know what it is not to be free, and sometimes in many levels I'm still not free. I'm still a work in progress, and we all are works in progress, but a big step to my progress was my departure from Christianity, because when I departed from Christianity, then I got to go deeper in myself. That gave me the courage to go travel, because I was a Christian, I just didn't do it, and then I just fuck it, and I just went. The little money I had ended up in South America, in Chile, and then Argentina, and then Brazil, and then Colombia, and back here, and then to Europe, and I did have a few encounters with mushrooms and LSD and other mind expanding, and ayahuasca was really the thing that changed my life, that really opened up the floodgates of my heart, of my deeper trauma and inner pain that I could not get to. I could not get to it, even with marijuana. Could not get to it, nowhere even close. So, so reprogram my mind, let go of the programming that I had, let go of the Christian programming, of the guilt, of the shame, of the years, and then, and also reprogram my mind continually from the years of poor diet, the years of TV, the years of movies, and all the stuff, music, and all the things that affect. It's deep. It takes time, and getting religion out. And it's not that, for sure. Like there's things that I've learned Christianity that I'm through the teachings of Jesus, Yeshua, that I'm grateful for, and that always stay with me. But the institutional, the rules, the regulations, all that legalistic garbage. Like, no, it's just bullshit. Jesus was an anarchist, and I'm an anarchist, anti-system. I'm for freedom of people, human beings, and of all walks of life. And so that's all I really had to share today. And I hope if you're a religious person, that you will consider it. Just it's good to have morals and values. And that's it. But nobody's better than anybody. We're all brothers and sisters on this planet, and need to learn just to accept and love one another, and stop fighting over pettiness and stupidity, over issues that were not even created by us. They were created by other people to get us to have the disharmony with each other, because they have disharmony with themselves, and that is their own disharmony, and we should cut ourselves off from it and let them fight their own wars. Let them fight if that's what they want to do, and we stay out of it. And they won't have anyone to fight with if we all used our fucking brains. And I hope we do. And that's it. Your boy, I Lose the Soul. Have a good night. Peace.